Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. I am Diana and this is Diana Focus on Now, a channel for dreamers like you want to achieve your dreams but also be confident in the process. So today we're going to talk about something very exciting because I have personally love this tip that I'm going to totally give you guys because 2022 is a big year for me in general, but I feel like you guys are too because you want to accomplish your dreams and why not accomplish your dreams, right? So today in this video, we're talking about a strategy that I have used literally since before, a little bit before the start of this new year, and it has helped me grow so much and I have more clients and I am just super excited, more happy with my life and my dream life that I'm creating. So I want you to do the same for you. Why not? Right? So in order to make big moves, you need to do big healing. And that's literally the quote for this week, for this year, sorry. Um, and wow, it has literally changed my life. I'm already applying these 10 methods that I'm literally going to teach you right now. And it's wow, big moves are happening. And it's literally been a couple of weeks that I have actually applied this method. So I really wanted to tell you, since the very start of this year, tell you more about this big moves. Okay. And then it's hashtag manifesting my dream life because why not? So my motto for the quote, like I said, for this year is big healing equals big moves. And let me explain to you a little bit more about why I chose this motto and all the details, okay? So I chose this motto because 2021 was a year that I got my first client and I was super excited, super happy, but it really drained my energy. And then I went to a manifestation course and everything, and I was trying to heal. And then I noticed that I needed to heal more. And it's something good that it's good to understand that you need to heal, but it's also good to understand that it's not like you're a bad person or whatever it might be, but it's understanding that you need to heal your inner child and you need to heal your inner beliefs and change your beliefs and everything. So I'm still continuing in this process, but I wanted to tell you that with healing comes big moves, because if you're healing just like the little paper cuts that you think they're like, oh, but I'm this and then this, and then there's just small ones, you're not going to see a lot of results, right? But if you cut yourself, I mean, don't cut yourself, but I'm just figuratively saying this. But if you cut yourself really big wound and deep wound, and then you heal that, you can move your arms, for example, or you can move your leg. If you break your leg, um, you can be more yourself because that is a bigger wound. So if you have a bigger wound, you can have bigger, heal bigger, make bigger moves. That makes sense. So big healing, big moves, because if you heal the big ones, not the small ones, the big ones, it's also very challenging to open yourself to yourself, right? But open yourself and actually analyzing all this big healing, all the wounds that you had in the past, and heal them in order to be your better version of yourself, or your true version, like in my past video that I was talking about. Be your true version, right? And in order to be your true version, you're gonna have big moves. Okay. So that's a little explanation of why I chose this. Super powerful, and I feel like this year is gonna be all about healing and abundance. That's literally it. And I'm super excited, as you can see. Okay. So first of all, something that I have personally experienced, and I feel like a lot of people don't tell you that, and makes me very frustrating because a lot of people are like, yeah, do work, do work, do work, do work, work harder, work harder, work harder. achieve your dreams by working harder, and they're just working all your time that you want, 24 hours, 20 hours a day. But are you really being your true self? Probably not, right? So in order for you to make big moves, you need to heal, right? That's kind of like the reason why I have this. But 20% of it is taking action. This is a fact. It's not like I created this number, right? There's a data behind this. And it's 20% of the action that you take are going to make you that result. Just 20%. So it doesn't matter if you work 20 hours a day or 2 hours a day or 40 hours a day, right? I mean, you can do 40 hours, but you get it. If it doesn't matter how much, it just that 20% that matters, okay? But the other 80%, of it is the mindset, especially the subconscious mind. And I honestly don't know a lot about the subconscious mind, just it's very powerful because all those subconscious thoughts, subconscious beliefs are the ones that are like literally ruling the world for your reality. So it's 20% action and 80%, right? It's all like 80% of mindset, okay? And I have a whole section here in this channel about mindset, so you can go check all those videos out. But today we're going to talk about big healing, big moves, okay? So big healing, let's talk about that. Understanding what are your limits, what is stopping you, understanding your fears, understanding what is blocking you. If you're just walking or like jogging or whatever in the street and there's a huge building, you need to like turn around and you cannot go through it. But then understanding those buildings that you have, as a metaphor, those buildings that you have, what are the blocking things that are blocking you to move around or go through that building, right? In order to get where you want to go. So I know there is kind of like this idea of like you're point A and then you want to go point B, straight line. Sometimes it is a straight line. Sometimes it's ups and downs and then blocks that you have to turn around and then go the other way and then go this and then go that, and then you go to point B, sorry. So it's understanding that. So if you need help with unblocking all those limiting beliefs, unblocking and changing your mindset, I highly recommend to get a mindset coach for this, because I think you can do it by yourself, right? And I have personally tried to do it by myself, and I'm really structural with like, I'm going to do this today, I'm going to do that today. But it's also very important to have somebody with you in that journey that can guide you and then can ask you questions that you've never thought, but they're like, oh, so obvious for them, but they're not so obvious for you, right? Because you see yourself and you know yourself, right? You do know yourself. I don't know. Do you know yourself? I'm just kidding. But if you know yourself, you know the story that you're telling yourself, right? So if you're telling your story all the time, the other person, that coach or that therapist or whatever it might be for you, are going to tell you specific things that they're noticing that you're repeating to yourself, but you don't even notice that because you repeat it all the time, right? So that's why it's very important, and I highly recommend to get a coach or get a therapist or whatever it might be to help you with that journey. And remember, it is a journey. It's not like one day 100% with a million problems and then tomorrow have no problems. We're always going to have problems, right? But it's a journey to transition to that, okay? that is the journey that I'm personally taking, and it's very important for you. If you want to change your mindset and you want to do big moves, like I said, you need to do that healing. Okay. And also, that journey is not fixed, right? It's one day can be amazing, another day you don't have to be amazing, right? You can have some down days and you can have some happy days, right? And it's all part of the journey. Okay. And I personally have experience with this because I tried to do it by myself and then I'm like, okay, now what? And I feel like it didn't move that much, didn't do big healing. Because for me, I'm like, I'm fine, you know, I'm okay. I don't have any wounds or anything, right? But it's internally, right? So that's big healing. Now we go to big moves. Okay, so big moves. Now that you have the healing part of it, that you understand the healing part of it, now we're going to go to the big moves, okay? This is the exciting part. This is the exciting part. So let's go in. Now that you have your healing, let's go to the next big moves that you're going to make. Okay, now you might say like, okay, Diana, if I heal all my wounds or the majority of my wounds, okay, what do I do next? And you're like, I don't know what to do. Do you know what to do? I don't know what to do. What do I do next? That is the biggest question. And I feel like it's very important to understand that it's, I was gonna say, it is important to understand that it's not just one move, it's big moves that you're making, right? And when I mean big moves, it's not like quit your job, you know, do like those big moves, but there's small moves that are kind of the big moves. For example, today I hired a new strategist. So that was a big move for me because I didn't want to do it alone, right? And I also don't want to stop myself for playing small, right? We all play small. It's like, oh no, this is better because this is safe and we don't want to cross that line and blah, 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 blah. But what if we don't play small, right? And that's where the big moves comes from, because if you keep playing small, you're gonna be small, right? But if you play big, then you're gonna make those big moves, all right? So please write them down. So when you're in the healing journey, because it's a journey, right? If you're healing journey, there are some times that some ideas just pop up, right? And this is why I have those lovely Post-it notes everywhere. Because I'm like, oh, I should do that. And then, oh, I should do that. And then there's this thing called ego. They're like, oh, no, you're totally fine. You don't need to do that, blah, 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 blah. And that is another thing that I didn't mention, but the ego is also really part of the healing part too, right? But understanding that, oh, you know, for example, I have an idea for a new YouTube video, right? And then my subconscious or my ego are like, yeah, Diana, that's probably not a good idea for that. But then I got like, for example, 1 million views or whatever it might be, right? And they're like, oh yeah, it was a good idea. But then my ego was telling me like, yeah, because my ego wants to keep me safe. I feel like I should do another video of all these things. If you want me to do another video, please let me know in the comments below. I will highly appreciate that. I feel like you might understand. Any questions, also write them down on the comments below if you have them. So when those ideas pop up, please write them down in a Post-it note, in your journal, and somewhere. I literally have a stack of Post-it notes just for those ideas, literally, no kidding. So it's really important to do that. So for example, I'm just give you that example. So those are the big moves that are gonna make you those big moves, right? So if when you're healing and then you're like, oh, I have this idea, and then you don't take action, that's the 20% that you're missing out. It's not gonna result for anything, right? So that 80% is the healing, and then the big moves is that 20%, right? That I mentioned earlier. Now I'm gonna give you an example because I feel like this is a little bit everywhere, but I hope you can understand. Okay, let's do an example. For example, if Anna, give me a second. If Anna doesn't like the camera, doesn't like, to do the YouTube videos or just Instagram stories, whatever it might be, doesn't like to do the camera, but she wants to be a news reporter, right? That is a big healing that she needs to do, right? Because like, why want to do, a news reporter if you're shy with a camera? That is a big goal, big move, and a big healing. So if you're shy with the camera, that's the healing that you need to do, right? Why are you shy with the camera? Why are those fears that you're shy with the camera? What are the limiting beliefs behind being in a camera or acting in a camera, whatever it might be, right? So all those things is the healing part of it, right? That's the healing part. That's the 80% like I was telling you, okay? And then next thing that you do, you want to maybe show up a little bit more in stories, or show your beautiful face, just do little steps that are technically the big moves. Because if you're shy at a camera and then you do the Instagram reels or the stories or whatever, that is a big move because then you're showing yourself, yes, I can do this, I can show up in the camera and not freak out or not, whatever the fear might be. So that is the big move. You go to the healing and then you go to the big move. Now you're showing more confident in those Instagram stories, I'm just giving you super general examples, right? But if you're showing up, and this doesn't have to be daily, they have to do it daily, blah, blah, blah. But you can do, if you're shy at the camera and you want to be better at the camera in general, maybe do it 3 times a week or 1 time a week if that feels very scary, or do it 2 times a week. For example, this week, do it 1 time. Next week, do it 2 times. Third week, 3 times. Going little by little. And those are the little steps that are the big moves that I want to kind of explain here. Because you think like, oh yeah, I can just do 1 Instagram story, that's fine. Right? Or you might be like, oh, I'm freaking out about doing 1 Instagram story, right? Because if you're shy with the camera. So that's the big move part. And that's the healing part. So do you understand the difference? Let me know in the comments, any questions that you might have, any comments or questions that you might have about this. And these are the things that I have been personally seeing because I have been writing down, what, for example, if I'm walking down the street and I see some X person, and they're like, oh, I feel like I don't deserve to have that bag, or I don't deserve to have a dog, I don't know, whatever it may be, then that's a fear that you're telling yourself, right? And that is kind of stopping you, like I said, kind of stopping you for achieving your dreams. So if you block, like literally, if you don't have any tolls in your highway and you're just going straight, your tolls are technically your limiting beliefs and all your fears and all of the things that are stopping you and charging you technically. If you think about the tolls, they're charging you to go the next mile. Like, oh, here it's like $50 to go the next 3 miles. And you're like, oh, you know, those $50 are the ones that you need to heal in order to pass. And then go to another one, then you pass. You know, it's a whole journey. So that is that. Big moves, big healing, and big moves. Super important combo that I have personally be doing. Still doing this right now. And in 2022, that is kind of like my motto of it. I hope you like this video. Give it a thumbs up. Any questions, concerns, let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.